Well, welcome to today's episode. Today's guest is Joanna Zhang. She's the founder of the Operations Genius and winner of the prestigious Stevie International Business Award. It helps entrepreneurs scale with freedom by providing plug-and-play teams that streamline operations. Blending human expertise with AI, Joanna champions a future where technology and people collaborate as one team, freeing founders from overwhelm and unlocking sustainable growth. At Strativa AI, we help businesses use AI to streamline workflows, delight customers, and grow revenue faster without adding more staff. So if you're interested in a free business growth consultation, just drop the word growth in the comments below. Now, Joanna, welcome, and please share some of the latest projects that you might be working on.
Well, thanks for having me, Mark. I'm really delighted to be here. In terms of the project, you mean relation to AI, we actually started to integrate AI into different perspectives. At the moment, probably from front end, we can utilize AI as an AI bot, for example, for customer service or often ask questions, or from social media point of view, content creations and scheduling. And in terms of some certain part of the area, the automation part, we utilize AI a lot. And then from the back end, for example, from CRM point of view, we're actually leveraging AI to automate certain workflows. So we actually started to embrace AI into our own business. But by saying that, because I started this business about 8 years ago and purely working with a human and working a team of human. And now because the trend of AI coming in, we find it's a beautiful double-sided sword, and depends on how we're using it, but it can really boost efficiency and productivity for our business to start with. Yeah, that's what we're working on at the moment. But we are actually in a movement of the Empower to Grow for helping business owners to really combine both human and AI together as a team.
I love it. And so it sounds like you're using it both internally, and then you also help businesses to engage either, like you were saying, with social media or emails and that sort of stuff. And so that it's like they're integrating it into their own businesses, and you help with that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Most likely, it's more like we're embracing it. First of all the team members within our team, we make them AI ready, and then they are AI friendly and capable. So when they actually dealing with any of the clients' tasks, because clients are very upfront as well, in terms of making the images and then setting up certain workflows or setting up the AI bots, like they using different tools, and our AI actually can know how to do it because our team is a plug and play team. So we're preparing our team become AI ready. So we're working with the different clients. When they have a different needs, our team can pick up those areas very quickly and to implement on it. That's mainly what we're meaning for. We are not the strategists in terms of integrating AI into their system because that's a consultants and coaches work. By saying that, we work with a lot of consultants and coaches together because they are the mind and helping to map out the blueprint, and we're the hands to make it happen. That's how we work together.
Okay, got it. So you're more like on the fulfillment side of actually doing it.
Yes, implementation team. Yes.
Got it. Fantastic. And then, so is each time a unique case and unique different AIs that are built up, or do you have kind of base platforms that you're using?
The model we're working is that we actually really catering for each individual client. Every single client using different platforms in terms of their website or their CRM, using different tools for AI, we actually can pick up like this because our team members are very tech savvy, right? So in the same field, if actually, for example, on the same CRM, they work on one CRM, it's very easily for them to pick up others. So it's the same apply to AI tools as well because all the AI tool has their specialties into different areas. So in saying that if our client is actually utilizing certain AI to do certain things, our team can pick up like this.
I love it. Fantastic. And like, how big are the teams that you interface with? How big are the companies? And are they in specific sectors of industry as well?
Well, during the past years, when we're helping clients to scale up, we find we can add a particular value to two groups. One group can be solopreneurs. So they start a business by themselves. Either they're working with EA or PA, And now probably a lot of time working with the AI, they can still find that the common symptom is that the skill is still can't be stretched out to the fullest, right? Because there's no perfect person or even no perfect AI, but there
Hmm.
can be a perfect team. So by saying that the team, the business owner or key team member, they are still actually heavily drained by certain tasks. Because I had a discussion with some solopreneur, even working with AI purely, they feel like it can be overwhelmed through time. So
Sure.
we find out that the human decisions and experience can still play a big role in this process. So our team can plug and play and see where's the gap at. We can relieve those repetitive and low end and draining energy task and to help business owner key team member to focus on the genius. So solopreneur is one
Solopreneur is
kind.
one. Okay, how about the
Yeah.
other kind?
The other kind can be B2B service, or even the other kind of business, they have a team. And this team, they already have a leader and they have their team members, and most likely between 1 to 15 people. In saying that, they will find often there's a gap within the team that they're not ready to hire another full-time, part-time staff. Even when they engage with AI, there's still gaps that either AI can't fully cover or a role is not ready, right? So in saying that, what happens is that either the business owner is holding on to those tasks or key team members still holding those on their plate. So what we can do again, plug and play into those infrastructure and having a look at what are the gaps, and we can fill in those gaps one day looking for the perfect solution or perfect one or perfect AI solutions. One day waiting, they don't have to wait basically. We can actually keep going with the scale up journey. So that's the two kinds of clients we can help.
I love it. Fantastic. And so, as you're working with these clients, or maybe even before you're working with them, what have conversations been like around acceptability? Meaning, like, there's kind of like the group of people that I see as like early adopters or just gung ho, like all for AI, right? And then there's those that are either almost like anti AI, or maybe those that are dipping their toe in the water and they're just a little more hesitant. So, can you speak to those two camps?
Oh, yeah, totally. And then actually, that's the main drive for this movement of Empower to Grow now, because our business has experience as a pilot. We practice to starting with a human team and then engaging with AI embrace together. We found that there's enormously productivity boost as well as infrastructure to really helping team members to focus on the genius, work with the heart flow, which is our mission and passion. So based on the two directions, as you mentioned, that's totally the current status. I confused because some of them do heavily, purely rely on AI. Their work can be working with the humans, so much hassle. And your AI can work with you 24/7, no rejections. Go for it. I could see, that's their language and how they feel. And there's another group who say AI is too much changes, a lot of updates, we can't keep up with it. And then before
Right.
we actually fully think about it, let's just work with our human team. So I could see there are two extreme. But as a pilot of the business, I have to mention to you, 8 years ago when I started this business, a little bit background. I work with the VAs, right, on my own
Yeah.
business. I had a lot of challenges and hurdles, and I need a lot of help. I need a lot of skills, but I don't have enough budget to hire a group of people. So I actually find a solution for my own business to start with to form a starting to get everyone specializing in specialty and to customize based on my budget. Then
Hmm.
I thought, why don't I share these resources with others? That's how we started the Operations Genius. Last year, we actually you mentioned we got recognized by Stevie International Business Award as the
Yeah.
world's first fractional VA service. Apparently, we're the very first one who is doing it, or the earliest one we're
So,
doing it.
can you explain that fractional VA? Because when I think of VAs, I just think like in a sense they're all fractional, right? Like, what do you mean by fractional VA service?
Okay, so I think the traditional model, you already a bit upfront, like in the trend already. So the traditional model, you will know that in the VA field is like you have a role, right? And you find someone either full-time or part-time to fill in the role. And
Yeah.
because a lot of VA agencies, they go with the full-time model and some of them go with part-time, minimum 20 hours. I could see now business started to be more and more flexible, which is grateful to see because at that time when I started my business, there's nothing in the market to really cover this aspect of the needs. So from now on, like our model is like, for example, a business owner says, I have a 10 hours budget a week. I need my website done. I need my accounts done. I need my design done. So totally 3 different kind of skills. Traditionally, you need to find the 3 VAs and give them certain hours and a feeling, to do those things. I have to say, probably with the other traditional model, it's very hard to fill in those things. We don't have 20, 60 hours for those work, right? For those 3 people. So with our model, 10 hours, we can pick those skills and then we customize the team, 10 hours bang. We, based on the priority, get things done. So that's what we call a fractional VA service with a team effect plug and play.
I
So
see.
that's how we work.
Okay, fantastic. I like it a lot. And then I felt like we kind of like digressed there as you were talking about, you went into VAs and gosh, I forgot right before that the type of AI that we were talking about. Nevertheless,
Yes, yeah. Sorry to
nevertheless,
change the topic. Yeah.
you were kind of talking about the acceptance of AI, right? The 2
Yeah.
camps of people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Why I'm mentioning about it? Because I could sense there is some trend upcoming. At that time, when there's no fractional model in the market, I could sense that flexibility is the same because I experienced a lot of challenges, hurdles. I personally experienced that pain, So I found a solution, then I share with the market. Same
Mm,
now as AI started to emerge, I could see
mm,
there are fears and there are hopes, and it's a balancing
right,
act. So we are
right,
practicing as
right.
a business to go to upfront how to integrate both parties together, not just rely on individually, totally, on the bias.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
from the practice, we could see AI could really boost the efficiency a lot and to help our key team members or team members to really, save some time and energies on some other things they really love to do. On the same token, the human side, if we really just work with AI, but no human. I have to say everything exists in the world for a reason. Some people probably say, I just work with AI, human too much hassle. But remember, we're here as a soul. If we are soul, we need mirrors to grow. Human can trigger and that's what my leadership journey, by working with a human, I wouldn't be able to really grow as a leader. Human has different emotions and characters and different challenges. And those are things are here for us to learn to grow. So I believe that if we could work with both parties, doesn't matter what's the percentage, but at least have both
Mhm.
and to work together, that could really help us to grow from a whole perspective in terms of
Mm,
the business, the personal, and life, everything. Yeah, that's just
mhm.
how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share a story about how that worked, like with an actual client?
All right. I think the clients coming to us at the moment. So I have to put this way. The client coming to us at the moment
Hmm.
is like they are doing something, they have their existing solutions, but somehow they don't fully work out. And that's why actually, the traditional model can't really help them. And give you what example? Okay, so I'll give you this example. Have a recent client, and she has multiple different business. She's a solopreneur, but she's like a superwoman. She has her own
Okay.
profession, also on her own podcast, a few channels. Everything happens. I have to say she's a superwoman because she utilized AI a lot and streamlined all her SOP, everything like that. But at that time, she said, I still need a human to really manage different aspects. I'm only one human, right? And
Yeah.
then every time she felt like, oh, I feel a bit hassle to hire a few people and train them to really teach everything and integrate, collaborate with each one of them. I just felt too much hassle, so I didn't really do anything with it. I just bear with all these things, all those business within myself. I'm very capable, but I'm burning out soon. That's how she felt. And
Yeah.
as soon as she gets to know about our model, she felt, wow, that seems like something I'm looking for because instead
Really?
of hiring one person full time, I can have the whole team as full time, right?
Yeah.
So I can utilize your team in which aspect I need, integrating with my AI system to work on it. And it's just based on her needs. We're helping her with the social media, helping her website building, helping her podcast branding, helping her some customer service not yet, but the momentum task, on the track. So she needs quite a few different areas, and the things are coming up too. That's the thing. A lot of time when we're doing the business, if we don't have the resources, we tend to hold it off, right? We feel like we're not ready yet. But with
Right.
the full skill team, it could explore a lot of potential. But of
Hmm.
course, by saying that, it does still have some bottleneck because human as ourselves, the capacity is really, really full. So that's
Right.
my role as a business owner because I personally experienced it as a part of the team as operations strategist to really constantly be accountable, help business owner focus on their genius, streamline the priorities, excuse me, and then we can help them to really from vision into action. Because a lot of time everything is here, but in terms of really taking out, it takes different steps and fine tune to fully leveraging our full resource team.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
to
that's
see
how
like
it works
really where the
together.
rubber meets the road, as they say.
Yeah, that's right. It is a journey. It is a journey to grow together, to make things happen together, fine tune, adjust. Yeah, so it is journey.
Yeah. And so when maybe going back a little bit to kind of like the two camps, right? But so someone in either camp is going along with you in that journey, right? And so when you've encountered some sort of an obstacle or like a challenge that has come around because of AI or automations or it's just something that's been put in place, right? A different system, a different maybe be like a different way of thinking, right? And then there's been like that challenge has been overcome. How are you able to share about like any lessons learned about having hit that challenge or the client having hit that challenge and what they or you have taken away from it?
I think the main challenge can still be on the delegation part, especially from communication. I'll give you an example. One way help one of our clients with their request on AI images, right? For example, so we come up with the first a lot of the outcome, same as any design work. It doesn't matter with the AI or something. The business owner will have some feedback. And apparently, at the very beginning, the detailed instruction, the better. You could know, you have experience with AI, we know how to really guide AI to work out the outcome we want, right? If we only give a raw picture, even working with a human, it happens to me as well. You often comes up outcome is totally different from our thoughts.
Yeah.
So the feeling can be frustration to start with because they could feel I engage with you to do all this, so why it comes like this? It's about expectation. So I found that the most challenging doesn't matter working with the AI or human. The communication part is so
Is key.
crucial. Yeah, it's
Right.
key. So from delegation point of view, because I personally experienced that without very detailed instruction, I just give them an idea and with the expectation that will come up with the exactly same model was I want, it doesn't work like that. So
Mm,
I think it's balancing it with our own action. If we wanted to give a big picture, have an open mind, have anything comes up. And when it comes up, depends on how we dive them into the direction we want. The same as AI, we give a first prompt and they come up something. Then we give a few more prompts and they come up with another thing, right? And gradually they become a really detailed instruction. They come up exactly as what we want. Same as working with whichever party, that's the same procedure we're going through. So it doesn't matter with AI or human. I could see that's the biggest challenge, the very first challenge probably we're facing. I think maybe now if we can work that part out and the others, it can be just fine tuned along the side about the structures and the process and systems about the delegation responsibility. For example, who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for this? Either AI or person, whatever it is. That needs to be really clear and also with the SOP. So a few things,
mm.
delegation, communication, delegation, responsibility, and the last part. What did I mention? The last part. I
Delegation.
can't remember. Hey, sorry.
Delegation.
Other than the delegation, I forgot what's the last one. SOP, the
Oh,
systemized.
SOP. Right,
Yes,
right. Yeah.
because that's the challenge. One of the client actually mentioned to me. She actually working with the human team members with the AIs, but without SOP in the place structures, it can still be a mess up. So I
Yeah.
think a few things. No matter we work with AI or human, a few things on the way. We got to improve and develop and practice and learn and grow for all those aspects. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are really, really good examples of how I think that it's important to lead our clients along that path so that they don't get overwhelmed, right? Like that delegation, those SOPs and things like that are really so crucial because there's just so much in the realm of possibility on
Yeah.
what AI and automations can do. And sometimes it's like literally having blinders so that we're only focusing on this one task. And it's either telling the AI to do that and training it a certain way, or training the staff member or the C-level exec or whatever that they are, just to kind of like stay focused on task. And so to not be overwhelmed with all of the other stuff that could be so easy to kind of like go into and not move the
Yeah.
needle on the one thing that they're actually trying to solve.
Yeah, on that, because I wanted to mention, you don't want to working with the humans. Overwhelm burnout can be a common symptom for all the business owners because we have a lot of things here and we want to happen, a lot of things there, but without a very clear clarity into different action point and a touch point or the responsibility part, it can be feeling holding a lot. So delegation is a process too. It started with one step at a time. And then it's like building a house and we design different bedrooms, step by step. But we got to have the big structure first and think about, okay, so that's the part I'm going to work on. Who's going to be responsible for it? Either myself, that's fine. But I need to put one side over there. And for my personal experience, I started to, on my business as a project manager, as a QA, as the whole thing manager, everything like that. I actually started to delegate those parts step by step as well. It's not like a one go bang like that. It can be very overwhelmed if you wanted to do it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a process and a journey. I know AI is very efficient. It can take over things like that, which is wonderful. But in terms of the structure, it is a fine tune and a learning journey. I believe so.
And how do you balance automation with maintaining a human touch in customer interaction? So the customer interaction either with you and your customers, or as you're automating things, right? You're implementing for them in their business. How do you suggest to them to make sure that there's still like the human interaction either internally with their own team or on their customer interactions?
Well, I think that depends on, we need to decide which part we utilize human engagement and which part we use automation. For example, give you example. At the moment on the LinkedIn outreach, for example, from the front end, for the initial connections or second follow-up messages, we utilize AI tools, to automate. Because those are very repetitive with given the criteria or, the type of people, we utilize that for the first round. For the people, when they started to engage, we have a human in place to really customize those messages to find out the point that we wanted to engage going forward. But by saying that, during the whole process, we need to monitor those numbers. Again, human will need to come into play, have a look at which campaign we do A/B, split test, whatever it is. So we'll
Sure.
see which one works well and which one we need to fine tune. So it's really like automation and a human combination, depends on the case by case. And I'll just say, for example, if AI can help us to reduce the time and save energy for a lot, for example, content creation, right? So for outreach
Yeah.
messages, AI doing great job because they can get essence out from another person's profile and then to say, speak into the language, create a bond. But of course, later on to deepen the bond, we still need a human connection. So it is a balancing act. It depends on when we use what and about how much. Because I have to say, uh, there are two bias. For example, if someone purely using on AI, we all have that frustration with a certain service provider. At the end, we just want to say, I just want to talk to a human.
Yeah.
I just feel
Totally.
frustrated. Can I just speak to a human? Right? So that can be the frustration. So the people who really heavily rely on AI got to figure out a way to have a human touch because there's something missing there. But for
Yeah.
someone who purely just rely on human and answer all those often asked questions, so time consuming and repeated again, why don't we utilize AI to create AI bot, whatever it is, to just answer some basic questions? So it is a balancing act, depends on our decision. But I could see the beautiful blend together when we actually working. As far as we have the mindset to combine, we can always grow together with AI
Hmm.
and a human. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely the trend right now of getting agents in place, and the idea is coming about more and more of like agents running agents. And so like an AI manager managing these agents, right? And that those are in place some already. But to like think of that like in the large scale and how a human will interact with a manager of the AIs that are doing a lot, down the tree of product or service delivery. And it's just so interesting to think about like what that relationship will look like in the future of managing the agents. I know that
Yeah,
there's also some people are even talking about like, agents having rights and agents like being paid and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's a really interesting trend that is certainly coming about, right? The trend of like AI agents is a thing. What other sort of trends could you foresee coming across the radar in 2026?
I wouldn't say I can see. Probably it's my hope that AI and a human can really working together as a team. So it's just something in my heart. I could feel that people are going this way, and AI is double-sided sword. Yeah, it
Mm,
can help our life enormously with its productivity, efficiency. But there's something there that human can add major value into our life as well. So I wouldn't see there's a trend, but it's my wholehearted hope that
hmm
in 2026, human and AI can really working together as a team. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no,
It's a
absolutely.
hope.
That's
It's a
It's
hope. Yeah.
no, it's a great hope, and it's our reality, and so it's a matter of like how will each one of us do it and interact with it in a positive, uplifting, kind of meaningful way, not use it for malicious intent, and
Yeah.
I think that's the responsibility of each and every user as it's being used in each case,
Yeah.
maintaining like its training as we're interacting with things, but then also from like the top level as the big creators of these big LLMs and so forth are creating that, the real encouragement of making sure that there's some guardrails around those as well. I think it's like super, super different. I was trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. And also, there's another thing I could feel, and it's hope as well, because AI database is actually reflecting the overall human consciousness.
Hmm.
If one way working with AI with love and care and support, understanding, our AI tools or agents will have all those wisdom, warmth, and support in the system as overall consciousness to support, right? But if we actually have more of the greediness, the desire, and anger, and frustration, and utilize this as a tool without a respect, you will increase that side as well. I mean, that's why we're saying AI is double-sided sword.
Right.
Same like this world, there are brightness and the darkness, and how we utilize it will affect the whole humankind consciousness as well. And think about our future generation too. So we actually, as a business owner, especially we utilizing AI heavily and started to engage. Be mindful our mindset and the way we are integrating and collaborating with AI, that will affect our future generation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that they're being, the college kids that are graduating right now, the way that they're needing to adapt on the fly is just so crazy, like what they're going through. And then, versus, younger generations, I've got a young daughter and she's just growing up with it. So for her, it's kind of like normal to be going into the space. And then there's those of us that are like navigating the space of the early adopters and yeah, just where it's all going. I think it's like it's just like such the blue ocean. I'm so excited for all of it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's just so much opportunity. It allows us all to get so creative, both in our personal lives and our business life as well, right? And I think there's also the importance of when we're working with the AI that like we're training it in the business sense and that we're conscious of not having that training like kind of bleed into one another, just so that we're like protecting our personal lives from whatever it is that we're dealing with in business, because we do have to remember that like as we are putting those inputs in, if we're not giving it the parameters, the security of the data, it can sometimes be corrupt. We don't know where it's going, or again, like the bad actors can go in and mine data and use it against people. So I think that
Mm.
it's all the idea of like the intent is so very, very important to all of it. And with that, though, I think there's definitely some questions around like the intent of the training of the whole big models, because there's things like where I recently heard that an AI was trained very generically. And so it was giving kind of like basic truths that are out there. But the platform that it was on it's like very much geared towards one type of people. And so it
Mm,
was answering questions that one type of people may not really have liked, but because it was answering on kind of general knowledge, then truths were getting out there. And so it's going to be interesting to see if they actually change the AI so that it's in effect like an echo chamber to their audience,
mm,
because it was saying things that were kind of more just general truths. And again, not necessarily what the audience would want to hear, like the audience
mm.
specific for that channel. And so it's
Yeah.
very interesting. It brings up that very interesting question on like the ethics and the training and how, our intent of like putting these things together and what the results will be because of that creation.
Yeah, so true. I mean, there's so many creativity and challenges and hurdles and opportunity. They all combination to come in front of us. And I think at the end of the day, it is our own decision how we utilize it, integrate it, and treat it with what kind of attitude. And then that part is our own free will and our own choice. And I think it just probably it is my urge and hope that we can be conscious when we're working, even working with the AI. Sometimes I can see the kids can be very rude to AI. It's not the
They're what?
good example. They can be rude, like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
let's treat them as a tool, like this kind of little things. It's like when we're treating other people as well. I mean, I think it's just be conscious of how we actually dealing with AI and play part of the responsibility to contribute a human mind kind of consciousness. That's how I feel for. And that's all I wanted to contribute in this concept and the topic and really want to drive this movement. Yeah, to have both party working together.
I love it. I love it. Joanna, how can people find you online and learn more about the work that you're doing?
Right. I think the best way, easiest way, just find me on LinkedIn. Yeah, put a Joanna Zhang, and if there are multiple Joanna Zhang, put operations beside it, I believe I will show up. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. And we'll be sure to include the link here as well. So just
Thank
want to
you.
say thank you so very much for your time. This has been great hearing everything that you're up to and how you're affecting change in the world.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll edit the rest out so this can do its uploading thing for a little bit. Have you used Riverside before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
a few past using this. So we just need to stay on until it wraps up, is it?
Yeah, I usually just like carry the conversation on at least for a few minutes so that sometimes like it doesn't fully finish uploading, but when there are clips, it's usually like clips on this, superfluous conversation that we have here at the end. So it really doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Only once in a while have I had to. Riverside has a feature where if the guest cuts off their recording early, then I'm able to send a request to them saying like, hey, go back and turn your computer back on or whatever. Let it finish its
Mm.
uploading.
Okay. I will stay on. Yeah, I remember the rivers. I needed a bit time to wrap up. We can utilize this time to have a chit chat. I wanted to understand about your business and who you help and how you help as well, because
Oh, great.
apparently we're connected anyway. So that's good
Yeah.
time for us to
Yeah,
exchange. Yeah.
thanks for asking. So when you were talking about like at the beginning about the coaches, etc., and like you're a little bit more of in the fulfillment, the doer roles, there may be some great opportunities for us to collaborate in the future because I am very much in that kind of coach role,
Mm,
consultant role. And so where I've got some specific offers, think AI agent, voice agent receptionist. Okay. Like that's a specific offer. Right now,
mm,
I've got a campaign going for personal injury lawyers, right? So putting that very specific use case into that specific industry, but
mm,
having that as a relatively easy, straightforward offer of AI. Another one kind of around the digital branding space. So I'm just now starting collaboration with a team to work on my own personal digital twin.
mm,
And I shouldn't say personal. It's it's going to be of me, but it's going to be for my business. And then the thought being there is to also duplicate that as, in essence, like a template to be able to resell. And so like there's an HR company who's interested in using digital avatars for onboarding their staff and so forth. So for just client training, right? So for like training videos. So it's
Yeah.
a use case that can be duplicated. So those are kind of two things, right? So it's like the voice AI and then the digital avatars. And those are kind of like very specific use cases to be easily duplicated that I could just sell as services. And then, but generally what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking the consulting model and I am going into businesses. So B2B, ideally 5 mil and above, that are like curious at all about how AI, they want to use AI. They may even be using AI, but they want to like take their AI game to the next level. And so
Okay.
my initial offer for them is to go in and spend 2 weeks with them in a consultative sort of situation where I'm going through their whole entire business, soup to nuts, and then interviewing ideally 3 people in the business from C-level down to employees to get a real picture of where AI could work, and then putting together for them the findings after this needs analysis is done and showing them a growth plan and having them be a part of that. So they're identifying like what would be most important for them, right? And like the easy wins that are going to cause the biggest effect, whether it's like make more revenue or keep more revenue of the revenue that they've already earned or give better customer service or whatever it is. And so the consultation kind of maps out these situations that then I can either implement for them, like if it's something really simple with an AI voice receptionist, say. B, I get my team of developers on a custom project for them. Or C, they decide to just take it in-house, right? And so it's like, fine by me, whatever they decide. I've got my consultation fee covered up front. And then it's an opportunity for either me to grow with them personally or bring in some developers, right? The doers to actually do the fulfillment and implement. Or just I've given them the ideas of what they want to do. And maybe they have an internal team of whatever, marketers or customer service. And they feel as though maybe there's an AI product that is like totally plug and play that they can just internalize it. No problem. Then like, great, like have at it. Right. And so I would foresee that there's definitely potential for us to work together on the fulfillment side then, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100%. So because you are the professional in this field, you can see many business models and you help many business too from AI perspective. I just want to ask you, what are the gaps you think that, how to say, because I'm trying to see how we can find team to really provide value to those clients, like, because for example, if they're using AI and they have an existing team, what are the gaps you can still see there something that we could probably contribute just from your experience?
So it really comes down to their needs analysis to see where's there has been either the most frustration that they have or like something that they've been like has been on their plate for a while that they've just wanted
Mm.
to do and it's not
Yeah,
there. Right.
yeah.
And so like that idea around efficiency and putting something in place to get things done in a better way. And so the needs analysis really kind of identifies like what that gap is.
Mm,
And so
mm,
maybe it's like they want more time to be able to work on XYZ, right?
mm.
Or whatever it is. So kind of finding out their current situation,
Yeah.
finding out where they want to go,
Mm,
and then seeing what's been holding them back
yeah.
such that then that kind of uncovers what the gap is and then getting with them on like their commitment to how big an idea is it for them that they actually want to put into place. And
Yeah.
so like what's the pain? Is the pain, is it truly monetary? Like, and so will showing them an ROI on something that's all
Mm,
numbers based be important, or is it showing them amount of hours saved, or is it something about like not so much on the number side but still growing their business, like we want to have 20 case studies on this one thing that right now we only have 3 on. And so maybe it's not going to drive as much revenue as some other service that they have, but they just want to build up some other type of service more, so those sort of things. And then just hearing from them which one is most important, that would move the needle most for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think that it's perfect because you are doing the needs analysis. So you can see what they need, what they actually lacking, what is the gap. And I think if by any chance if you identify after utilizing all your AI models, there's still gaps in the human team, and then that plays probably we can play into that to add value. Yeah. So I think that's perfect because you're doing that. But when I work with our clients, we actually analyze from the human side. From AI, anything they wanted to engage, we will connect with a consultant like yourself. So that's why I want to understand the type of clients you're helping. So you did mention that you want to help B2B over 5 million revenue. What are the size like them normally, from your experience?
The size of that company?
Yeah, that's
It's
the team size.
Yeah, usually like 5 to 50. There's a lot of fives going around, but that's what it is. It's
Okay.
usually like 5 to 50. And then it is kind of sector dependent. So the campaign that I'm doing for the personal injury lawyers, like that's only up to 20 employees, because when you get more than 20, then they tend to have more of these, like a solution in place already. Think like
Yeah.
answering service and that sort of stuff. Whereas the smaller ones are kind of more hungry to adapt and need it, and would see like that gap, that pain for them is more of a needle mover, again, if you will, than others. But yeah, that's generally kind of the size.
Yeah, and for the AI agent, voice agents, digital marketing, are they all for the B2B service or different kind of business?
Yeah, they're all B2B. They could certainly work for B2C as well. We haven't done any B2C, but that's certainly possible. Yeah.
That means actually we actually serving the similar type of clients, just from different stack. You're from AI, I'm from human, and we all both plug and play. And I think that's we have a resource now for the AI part, and you now have a human part is resources
Yeah.
as a plug and play. We have a referral arrangement in place. We pass on 10% ongoing as long as clients is leveraging our service. So yeah, so just for your reference, that if you want you do the needs analysis, if you do find that there's a gap for really human needs to be filled in and they don't have other resources, feel free to connect us. And if they become client, we'll
I
pass
would
on
love
the
to.
revenue. Yeah,
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So, all right, I will keep all this in mind. So AI, when you say AI agent, voice agent, I understand. So AI agent, what does it include?
So usually it includes a base knowledge on whatever the industry is, and then it includes the specifics on what the local business is and does. So from, who's on their team to what are their hours, what's their location, what are the unique services that they provide within their sector. So just FAQs, right? And then it's 24/7 answering all of these things,
Oh,
and then it
okay.
could do
Customer service, yeah. Like customer.
customer service, also like intake. So booking appointments, right? Going into calendars, also going into reminder sequences. So even after someone's booked, then it's going to be sending them SMS messages and emails saying like, looking forward to your appointment on so and so. So
Mm.
to increase the follow up and the show up rates.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it
Beautiful.
does those things. It will triage what type of potential customer it is for the service.
Mm,
So,
mm, mm,
one company may offer a bunch of different services, and by asking the potential client conversationally what they need, then it warms up the client because of that, and then it transfers that information that it learned to the
mm,
human, so that the human is best prepared when the human has that first interaction with the
mm,
potential client. Like they've got a set of notes, they've kind of learned the scoop about what that potential client is all about so that they're best prepared to serve them.
Do you have something helping with the LinkedIn leads generation?
I do. Yeah, I have a service that's helping me with LinkedIn leads gen, and it's all very kind of, there's definitely an AI component to it. And then after engagements are like set up, then that's when I step in as an individual and, take over the conversation to have a meeting or share services or what have you.
All right. So at the moment, how many people in your team?
Right now, there's 3 of us.
Oh, right. Are you in US, right?
I am. I'm in San Diego.
Oh, right, right. And then where are the other team members?
So one is a VA in the Philippines,
Yeah.
and then and then another is in New York.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Great, 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 great. Okay. So I'll keep all this in mind. So you help in leads generation as well. You help digital marketing?
Yeah. Well, and then so when I bring on like the developers that I need to do custom AI integrations, then the team is bigger. But that small team of like who is Strativa, that's the core. And then beyond
Yeah.
that, like the developers that I bring on, they're worldwide actually.
Yeah, right, 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 right. Just
But my
curious.
my video team, the video team they're US based. They're a team and they're in Colorado and Iowa.
Beautiful. Wow. You are a perfect example. You actually started to really combining AI and a human together anyway. We can now have
It's
other
so
people.
fun. I love doing it.
Yeah, beautiful. You must be really good at playing as a team player and a leader and to getting everyone together. Any
Oh, that's
challenges or
nice of you
hurdles?
to
I'm
say.
just curious. Yeah.
No, there's always the hurdles. It's a matter of, like we were saying, like communication is the key. So finding out kind of what the expectations are and then communicating on those clearly. Yeah, I would say another key thing is, for me, is always like a speed of delivery. And it's like not about like just getting it done, but getting it done right and efficiently. So it's like measure twice, cut once. That sort
Yeah.
of mentality, right? Or if you want to say less haste, more speed,
Mm.
just so that it's like it's well thought out and the project will move forward much faster than like just trying to rush through something. So between, I think, communication with setting expectations and then the idea of like what is the most efficient way, and that's where AI comes into play to
Yeah.
such great degree. I
Mhm.
think that sets any team up for the best success.
Yeah. So true. Zen. Right, beautiful. I'm so
Yeah,
glad
Joanna.
it connects and then this way and then to collaborate going forward as well. Such
Yeah,
mutual growth.
100%. Yeah, I look forward to more collaboration with you.
Thank you so much. All right, looking forward to it and keep in touch. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.